Welcome to the second video of active and passive voice. In today's video, we are going to discuss rule number 2 of changing the voice. Now, the one thing which is very important, which we need to keep in mind, is that the tense of the sentence does not change when you change the voice. मतलब हर एक टाइम जब हम एक्टिव से पैसिव या तो पैसिव से एक्टिव को कन्वर्ट करते हैं, at that time the tense of the sentence does not change. That thing is very important to keep in mind. So how do we change the voice without changing the tense? Because in passive voice, the rule is that we need to use the V3 form of the verb. That is the past participle of the verb. And if we directly use the past participle, then the tense of the sentence changes. So we are going to learn how to change the voice in each of the tense. हर एक टेंस को हम इंडिविजुअली ब्रेक डाउन करके लर्न करेंगे दैट हाउ टू चेंज द वॉइस, हाउ टू टर्न फ्रॉम एक्टिव टू पैसिव. लेट अस लुक एट फर्स्ट टेंस, दैट इज द सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस. सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस की एक्टिव वॉइस में फॉर्मेट होती है सब्जेक्ट प्लस V1 प्लस ऑब्जेक्ट. V1 मतलब बेस फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब, दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी लर्नड इन आवर वीडियो ऑफ टेंसेस. For example, Rajat writes novels. So in this case, Rajat is the subject, writes is the V1 form of verb, and novels is the object. Now we need to convert it into passive voice. In passive voice, the format will become subject plus M is R plus V3 plus object. Why? Because we need to convert this V1 form of the verb into V3 form. But if we directly write the V3 form, the tense of the verb changes. And in order to maintain the simple present tense, we use the helping verb M is R. Now, Rajat writes novels. First rule tha that we need to begin with the object of the active voice. So I'll use novels plus हमें passive voice क्या बोलता है, we need to add M is R. So I will write R because novels is plural. Written, writes becomes written. Written is the V3 form of the verb by Rajat. Rajat is the doer of the action. So in this way we can convert a sentence in active voice into a sentence in passive voice. The rule is active में subject plus V1 plus object, और passive में the rule is V3 form of the verb आना चाहिए, and in order to keep the same tense we add M is or R. Right? So that is simple present tense. Now moving on to the present continuous tense. Continuous की format होती है subject plus M is R plus gerund plus object. Gerund is the ing form of the verb. Now, the example, Rajat is writing a novel is in present continuous tense. Rajat is the subject, is plus writing is the gerund, a novel is our object. So my rule tells me that in passive voice I need to convert the object of the active voice into subject of passive. So I'll start my sentence with a novel plus M is R हमें add करना है because it is compulsory in present tense. But how to convert the gerund into V3 form? Gerund is the ing form of the verb. Now writing का मुझे written कर देना है. So in order to maintain the continuous tense, I would add one word which is being. जब भी continuous tense को active to passive में convert करते हैं, at that time we need to add the word being. So a novel is being written by Rajat. Once again, जब भी present continuous tense को आप passive voice में convert करते हो, at that time gerund is converted into the word being, और जो verb है उसे हम V3 form में convert कर देते हैं. So writing becomes being written. Now प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस, प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस की फॉर्मेट होती है सब्जेक्ट प्लस हैज हैव प्लस V3 प्लस ऑब्जेक्ट. My example, Rajat has written many novels. So Rajat is my subject plus has because Rajat is singular. Written is a V3 form of the verb. Many novels is our object. And as per the rule, I'll start my sentence in passive voice with many novels. Now, again, perfect tense है तो has और have आना compulsory है. So I'll keep the word have. Many novels have. यहाँ पे भी V3 form है. And here also I need to keep the V3 form. Now how to maintain the same tense in passive voice? So for that I would add the word been. Subject plus has have plus been plus V3 plus object. That is how we convert. Rajat has written many novels. Many novels have been written by Rajat. That would be the answer. So, in order to convert from active to passive, we need to keep in mind the format of each of the tense. Rule क्या याद रखना है that passive voice में the verb form which is used is the past participle form, and in order to keep using the past participle form in the same tense we need to add certain words. अगर simple tense है then we add am or is or are. अगर continuous है तो we add the word being, and अगर perfect tense है then we add the word been, B-E-E-N, been. So that is how we convert the present tense into passive voice. Now, you must be thinking that is there a way to convert the present perfect continuous tense into passive voice? Well, for that the answer is no. There is no form of passive voice in the present perfect continuous tense. कोई भी perfect continuous tense होता है, whether it's present, past or future. For that we do not have any form in the passive voice. It is impossible to convert. So we only convert the simple, the continuous and the perfect tense into passive voice and vice versa, right? So that is for present tense. Now we are going to learn the past tense. Now let us discuss how to change the voice when we are using the past tense. First, we'll start with simple past tense. The format is subject plus V2 form of the verb, that is the past form of the verb plus object. Rajat wrote novels once. Rajat is my subject, wrote is a V2 form of verb, and novels is my object, right? So now I need to convert the simple past tense into passive voice, but I need to again keep the same tense while using the V3 form of the verb. So instead of using the V2, I would replace and add the words was or were depending on the subject plus V3 plus object. So my sentence, that is Rajat wrote novels once. Novels is my object, so I would start with novels, right? Wrote becomes were written. Once hai, I need to keep using that word. So novels were once written by Rajat. In this case, Rajat is the doer of the action, so Rajat would come at last. Again, जो V2 form of verb होता है, that is converted into was or were plus V3 form of verb. Present tense में am is are add करते थे, past में was or were. Past continuous tense, the format is subject plus was verb plus gerund plus object. Again gerund, ing form of the verb. Rajat was writing a novel last year. So Rajat is my subject plus was writing is a gerund, a novel is my object. Would start my sentence with a novel. और continuous tense है तो हमारी पहले भी बात हो चुकी थी that we add the word being plus V3 form of the verb plus object. Rajat was writing a novel last year. I would start with a novel plus was or were. तो जो was writing है it would become was being written by Rajat last year. Past continuous tense, was were plus gerund होता है, that is converted into was were plus being plus V3 form of verb. Past perfect tense, past perfect में हम यूज करते हैं had. So form it is subject plus had plus V3 plus object. Rajat had written only one novel at that time. So in this case, Rajat is my subject, had written is the verb, only one novel is the object. So it start the sentence with only one novel. Perfect tense है तो हमें been add करना ज़रूरी है. So subject plus had plus been plus V3 plus object. That is my format. Only one novel had been written by Rajat at that time. तो जो had written है that is converted into had been written, right? So that is for past tense. अगर simple past tense है तो I would add the word was or were plus V3. अगर past continuous tense है तो gerund की जगह क्या ऐड करना है? being. और अगर past perfect tense है तो I would add been after had. That is how we convert from past tense from active to passive, right? Now after past tense we would discuss the future tense. Okay, so now let us discuss about the use of future tense while changing the voice from active to passive. We'll start with simple future tense. Now in simple future, my format is subject plus will shall plus V1 form of the verb plus object. My example, Rajat will continue to write novels. Rajat is my subject plus will, as it's the future tense, write as a V1 form of verb plus novels is my object. Now in passive voice, in order to convert the simple future tense, I need to add the word be. Because I need to keep using will or shall because it's a future tense, and I also need to use the V3 form of the verb. So my format will become subject plus will shall plus be plus V3 form of the verb plus object. Rajat will continue to write novels. Novels is my object, so I would start my answer with novels. Novels plus will. Novels will continue to be written. Will continue to write का हो जाएगा will continue to be written by Rajat. Rajat is the doer. ये बात हुई simple future tense. Will और shall plus V1 होता है, उसकी जगह हम लिखते हैं will और shall plus be plus V3 plus object. Now future continuous tense जो होता है, for that again we don't have a passive form, right? It can only be written in active voice, so we are not going to discuss that, but we are going to skip to the future perfect tense, the last tense which we are going to discuss. Future perfect की format होती है subject plus will shall plus have plus V3 plus object. Will shall भी use करना होता है, have भी use करना है और V3 भी use करना है. Now how to convert this into passive voice? So an easy trick is जब भी perfect tense है, add the word been, and in this case as well I need to add the word been. So the sentence Rajat will have written 2 novels by the end of the year, तो यहाँ पे will have written जो है that would be converted into will have been written. 2 novels will have been written by Rajat at the end of the year. That is how you convert the future perfect tense. ये simple tense है, add the verb be. अगर perfect tense है, then you need to add the word been. Friends, ये बात हुई active and passive voice rule number 2. How to change the voice without changing the tense of the sentence, right? ये जो सारे notes है, सारे formats है, इसके आप लोग को नोट्स अलग से मिल जाएगी in the form of a table so that it is easier to remember. But before we end the session, need to quickly revise that simple tense प्रेजेंट, पास्ट या फ्यूचर कोई भी हो, अगर सिंपल टेंस को पैसिव वॉइस में चेंज करना है देन ऐड आइदर एम इज आर और वॉज वर, और इन द केस ऑफ फ्यूचर यू नीड टू ऐड द वर्ड बी. अगर कंटिन्यूअस टेंस है एट दैट टाइम जो जेरेंड होता है उसकी जगह वी नीड टू ऐड द वर्ड बीइंग. आईएनजी फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब को कंटिन्यू रखना. एंड इफ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द परफेक्ट टेंस में वी नीड टू ऐड द वर्ड बिन, BEEN, बिन. और परफेक्ट कंटिन्यूअस टेंस जो होता है फॉर दैट वी डू नॉट हैव अ पैसिव फॉर्म एज वी डिस्कस्ड, राइट. सो दीज is how to change from active voice into passive voice without changing the tense of the sentence. That is rule number 2, right? Thank you.